All right, and I am live. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 19th, 2019. Good morning to all of you from the greater San Diego metro area at an undisclosed boondocking location. And you're going to be kind of sad to leave this.
Well,
So,
let's just put it this way: the theme of Rosie's channel now is Beach Day for Rosie. It's Rosie McNamara time. It's bikini time. It's a cinematic time, and that means for me leaving
good morning, Robin. Good
leaving the
morning.
good Middle Eastern food of El Cajon and leaving the easy boondocking, and now mixing it up with the homeless babblers of California, the bicycle people, the tent people, and all the
Morning,
hippies, and
everybody.
all those people that the tourists that go to spend their money on these California beaches. We're getting into the nitty gritty now, and you know what? I'm in the hot seat, but not only am I in the hot seat, Rosie is in the hot seat because this Saturday we will be going to TJ Tijuana, and Rosie's going to be in the hot seat in Tijuana because she knows that Tijuana is big time.
Big time. Yeah, that's on your bucket list of
Yeah.
things to do. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Good morning, Kim. How are you? Dancing Dawn. Good morning to you, Christina. Good morning. How was it sleeping in the cool San Diego weather for a couple nights? It was, man, when we cleared that mountain and that temperature dropped at that summit to 53 degrees from 95 degrees down on
Oh
the valley
man,
floor. I almost had to put my heater on in the
where
van.
the Golden Acorn Casino up there on the mountain. It was so beautiful up there. I didn't want to leave that area. It was so nice. The weather's so cool, so crisp, and the breeze, the wind from the mountains. It was just a majestic area, that Indian reservation.
Hey
They call it
Diane,
the
good
Campo
morning, sweetie.
Reservation.
I messaged you my digits down there. So pick which time it's best. You should try to go to Escondido. That's a pretty good haul from down there in Escondido. Bella Rose, how you doing? The Queen of Buffalo.
Hey Bella, what's going on? I think that we need. Of course, California's got a lot of beautiful places to go, but
Good morning, Mark.
Rosie's focus and my focus was Tijuana, El Cajon, and obviously for Rosie, San Diego. Um, so we want to kind of concentrate our our
Hey, Miguel.
our efforts here of learning these areas.
You know, my
Or
my thoughts are, I've done my level best to be a friend to Marshall, to head down to the deserts of Yuma, to subject myself to that relentless heat down there, to give a financial boost to get the dental work expedited, which was a good call. I mean, it was a good call because now it frees up whatever, what is it, 12 days or whatever, to really, after 12 days, you'll really have the feel for the whole San Diego
yeah,
metro
it
area.
freed up a lot of time for us to be able to explore Southern California here and check out Tijuana, San Diego, El Cajon, and instead of be there just roasting in the desert.
Yeah, 'cause that's,
So
it's, Los Algodones is fun, but at the end of the day, after 2 visits in, yeah, I'd like to explore the food scene a little more and check it out. And I'm sure on the 30th, it's going to be a
uh,
quick trip in and out.
yeah, I wanted to add that I hope that at least
Hello.
that we can check out Mexicali one time. That would be cool to be able to check it out one time coming before we come back to San Diego. But if it's possible,
Well,
but
it's
I don't know.
possible. I'm just saying you got to understand that unless you want to follow
Yeah,
and go back down the mountain again and put your rig somewhere near Mexicali,
right.
it's really impractical to take 2 rigs
Two,
back
two,
down to Los
exactly.
Algodones. It's
It's
a
a waste of
200-mile
fuel.
journey. It's
Yeah,
a waste of fuel. And the less stress that you subject the rig to, the
the
better.
better it
High
is. Yeah.
spirits. Hello, everybody. Hey, Pam. Yeah, we are. I mean, that's he's not He's not opposing that. He's saying, hey, you go have your fun now. This is your time.
We have
and
to.
he'll have his vehicle. And if he wants to peel off and explore some of the other options around the area, he knows where I'll be and where I'll be.
I think that it's.
So I'm not holding him back. I'm not.
Yeah.
This should not be a punishment for him. Now, he's not a beach person. I recognize that. Okay, that's cool. But in life, you give a little, you get a little, and he always has the freedom to put it in gear and go wherever he wants. And you know, if he wanted to go back to El Cajon, it's not that long a drive from San Diego. In other words, he'll figure it out. He'll do exactly what he wants to do. And if it's not the beach theme, because this is really the 12 days that I've really targeted now. As you know, my van was delayed for 15 days. I was waiting on my van, and that was pretty ridiculous to wait on. That cut into my time dramatically. Let's see. Hello, Bailey. Let's see. Got a big semi here. Hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah,
I think he's heading in. I don't think he'd go to an eye doctor in this side. Maybe one in Mexicali. I don't know.
Mexicali is a big city, over 1 million people. There's eye doctors there. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I just wanted to get a little preview of what it's like, just for a couple of hours.
Charlotte.
But I don't think it's economically feasible for me to drive all the way back down there. It's always be there. It ain't going anywhere. But I just think that the main objective and priority is to finish up my dental and check out Tijuana, and then maybe we can just stop off in Mexicali for a couple hours just to see what it's like, just to get a little bit of a preview and taste of it.
Which is fine. I don't have any problem with that.
And then my priority is, obviously to get up to the Rancho and
hey, Katie,
and go up and go to Rosie's got to attend to Missy Jen and go to Las Vegas, meet up with Lion Screw, check that out, and then come back and hopefully get to work and hopefully start on one of the other important things of Anvil. So. But I just wanted to say real quick, in California, I'm surprised of all the options to boondock. I see a lot of truck drivers and RVers boondocking all over the place on public streets. They're very laid back and lax about it, much more than Arizona. And I see a lot more RV parks down here than in Arizona. I saw them all more mobile home parks. There's more RV parks here. So it's more RV friendly in Southern California than it was in Arizona, which I'm surprised because it's a more desirable area, climate. You see more homeless people, so...
You know why that is? For one simple reason. You've crossed from a very red state, Arizona, to an extremely blue state here.
Right.
The whole philosophy of governance in California, even somewhat down to Southern California. Now, I know Diane's in the OC in the Orange County there, and that's still a rock-ribbed Republican enclave.
Right.
But there's that idea, that California sort of ideal that no matter what your income level or your station in life, that you matter, and that you will be treated with dignity and respect by local authorities and law enforcement and all that. So it becomes a magnet for people that don't have a lot. They might just have a van camper, and they live their life that way.
Right.
And the local governing agencies understand that. And the local population, although
there are pockets of red. Like I've talked to a couple people in Huntington Beach, and they said there's no way you can park there.
That's the OC. That's Orange County.
Exactly.
It's a very...
I love Trump and everything, but the Republican, the far right, is basically against nomads, right? Basically, right? Wouldn't you say that they're against us?
Which one?
I'm saying when we're talking about, you talk about it's progressive here, it's Democrats, it's socialism, so they're more lenient towards nomads than Republicans, right? So
I mean it's just the spirit that infuses a lot of these places that no matter what little bit you may have, You know, we're going to accord you the basic dignity, but be clean, be neat, don't be...
follow the rules.
You follow the rules. You know, a lot of towns have specific
Yeah.
rules. You can park on 72 hours for this location.
Right.
Then you have to move X number of miles. So that way it keeps things moving
Yeah.
around. I want to update. Hey Jessica, I'm sorry if I missed anybody on the side chat. I see a lot of friends out there. Good morning to you. I do want to update Missy Jen. Michaela, how you doing? We got Michaela reviews from the great state of Omaha, of Nebraska.
I don't know who she is.
I met her with Dee in Omaha. Johnny's Steakhouse, the original
Johnny's.
Omaha Steakhouse, 1922.
You weren't happy with the baked potato. I think you were complaining about that.
Just a real quick note in my review was such that when a place becomes noted like the Steakhouse of Omaha, the premier, this is where it all began, the concept of the steakhouse in Omaha.
Right.
They have a tendency to put all their focus on that, and then the sides take second place.
Right.
And I thought Johnny slipped on like a baked potato. They brought out a baked potato that had been under a heat lamp for hours, you know, and it was
right.
There was nothing fluffy. There was nothing good about it. Let's update Missy Jen. We have she's doing good. I talked to Missy Jen on the phone this morning. She's happy. She's feeling good. She has been communicating with UCSF. She has completed all of her pre-infusion requirements. They require you to do certain blood tests and certain other tests. She did not need to see a physician this time to do it, to schedule. So now she's officially scheduled up. I have the date in October. It's the early part of October. And it's going to jive perfectly. It's going to give me time to spend with her after the infusion to make sure everything goes as a precautionary thing. So that is all set now. That's been underway for the better part of 2 weeks. She's excited to get the next round of infusion because it's been tremendously beneficial to her. And I do have to say, people talk about pharmacies and drug companies, but Genentech is footing the bill for that. Genentech is America's premier biotechnology medical company, and they're footing the bill for these infusions to the tune of $100,000 per infusion.
Where was the medication engineered, Rosa?
It was engineered in the Bay Area of San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Genentech down in the South Bay area.
Is it experimental or proven?
You know, between what people don't understand is between Stanford University and UC Berkeley, you have real powerhouses of minds and entrepreneurship and things like that. So it's a big driver of new businesses that get spawned out, like Tesla and Adobe systems, and
IT
Facebook,
stuff,
Google. Medical stuff too. You have Genentech, and also down here in the Irvine area is a hot area south of LA for biotechnology and all that. So Hey Kev, so I've always got my priorities straight. Hey Mouse, how you doing? I'm always talking to Missy Jen and communicating with her on the daily. Is she happy? Yes, she's very happy. Does she enjoy her quiet, non-Rosie time? Yes, she does. Because as he tells you, I'm Johnny on the spot. I'm usually up and around at 6 a.m. in the morning and bouncing around, and I don't really call it till about 1 or 2 in the morning. So now she doesn't have to worry about, random noise in the morning, and it's almost like a vacation for her too, and she's definitely enjoying that. But I will reiterate, and I will say again, Missy Jen, every time I travel, Missy Jen is invited to go along with me. Okay? Now some journeys are very rigorous. Our Great Lakes tour,
right,
that would have probably, with all the boondocking and stuff like that,
right,
I don't think Missy Jen would have liked to have done that. She wouldn't want to be in random hotels and things like, it's not her style. What you have to do when you travel is you take her to one location and you set up there for a week or two. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the kind of travel that she enjoys.
Yeah.
So I'm saying thank God for Genentech that has such compassion. They have a compassionate program for people that don't have the monies to afford $100,000 every 6 months for infusion.
How long have they had this?
2.5 years.
Really? Is that when they started?
Yeah, she's starting her 3rd year of infusions now on this stuff.
What's the success rate on this stuff?
It's very good. In Missy Jen's case, I really believe it has slowed the progression of MS to a virtual, if not a standstill, a virtual injectable control, which is a great thing. What happens is it interferes. It's hard to believe. You're sitting there in an infusion center, Marshall, and there's a clear bag of liquid hanging there on the pole. And for all intents and purposes, it looks like water in the bag.
Right.
But then when you think about the molecular engineering and the chemistry that's gone into that,
to make it
you take a drug like that, you put it into the body, and it goes to a specific place, to the nerve coverings on the nerves, because MS is removing the nerve covering, so you're all getting short circuits in your control system. And this slows that progression of stripping away the sheathing on top of the nerves. Now, there is a drug in the pipeline they're working on that is supposed to be the first one that starts restoring the cover on the nerves. So there's a lot of...
Is this stem cell technology? Or engineering?
Not stem cell. This is biotechnology at its most advanced form right down here. So you have the greatest minds down there in those laboratories worldwide working on those things. Well, thank you, Bunny. What I did was try not to be in the sun. Yeah, we all love Missy Jen, and it's personally hurtful to me and Missy Jen when the few trolls will come out and say, "Oh, Missy Jen, Rosie doesn't care for Missy Jen, or Rosie doesn't take care of Missy Jen." But people that have known the 5+ years, well, for me, almost 7 years on YouTube, will know that Missy Jen will always be an integral part of my thought processes and life. And it just shows the level of desperation that people will go to sometimes, to be like spaghetti and throw it on the wall to see what sticks out there with the community. And that really says more about their evil hearts than the realities of what's going on in real life. So that's enough said on that. See if anybody's MS get flown from the Bay Area to Flint. Yeah, at Genentech expense. Yeah, Genentech's a wonderful, and a lot of pharmacies, people are talking about, if you can't afford the medication, a lot of pharmacies have what's called patient assistance programs, where if you have a low level of income, they have a specific department that you can make application to, and you get your medicine for free.
So does the state of California cover this?
It covers the cost of the infusion. She has Medicare and Medicaid, so those two cover. You have the product, and then you have the center where it's administered and nursing. Yeah, and that's covered by under her insurance coverage. So she ends up not having to really spend a dime, which is great. So don't buy the line that I don't care about Missy Jen, but it does show the extent of a black mark that would come out and say something like that has no moral compass to will throw anything against the wall to see what. I'm
just curious, like this MS treatment.
There's a camper van behind you.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think it's going to be coming down.
Okay,
it was a brown. It looked like a coachman high top. I'm not sure which way. Yeah, there. Oh yeah, there he is. It's a high top van. That's all that is.
But no, I was just wondering, like, people with MS that want to get treatment like Missy Jen. Is there any other place in the country that's up to par with this place you're going to?
I think probably UCLA Medical Center. You have the Mayo Clinic up in Minnesota. You have Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, and Harvard would be like the premier centers for. See, what's unusual about Missy Jen's situation is she's being treated not just by a physician, but a physician that only does, within the realm of neurology, which is Parkinson's disease, which is MS, which is all kinds of motor things to do with the brain.
Right.
These doctors only specialize in MS.
Oh, okay.
And half of the doctors are PhDs in chemistry too.
Oh, okay.
And they're research scientists. So their interest is treating patients and then being on the front line of cures. That's where their interest lies. So
Who's
they're always coming
who's
out.
actually making the actual drug?
Genentech Corporation down
Right.
down in Palo Alto, down in that area down there, so near Stanford
Right.
University. Welfare for all. Let's put this dope out of here. Bye. So yeah. My sister is in study at the University of Michigan in conjunction with Henry Ford. Yeah, it is a wonderful thing, and Missy Jen was one of the early people that started and pioneered the process. And she's had a very good outcome on the therapy. It's been outstanding for her, and I'm very happy for her. And like I said, the fact I can be there for the first week or so after the infusions is a great thing too, to keep an eye and to monitor that. That's what I like to. That's what I like to do. Shane says Elvis. Shane Irish says hi, Elvis on there. So
Hello everybody.
now, yeah, Mr. Z says I personally vouch for Rosie and Jen's relation. Believe Miss very capable. Yes, she is. She's a very independent woman. Very quiet, but very independent. You got to remember when I started out with Jen in 2014, Jen was living her life in a power wheelchair, almost full time. Okay? She is now graduated to a very small amount of her time is spent in a wheelchair now that is an amazing progression. Does she have the skills? You know, some people have made very ignorant comments about Missy Jen's speech. They've made really disgusting comments about, is she on narcotics? Is she drugged because of her speech? You got to remember in 2012, Missy Jen had a severe initial attack of MS. She couldn't walk. She was blind. She couldn't speak. And they, you know, imagine that situation where you drop on a factory floor and this happens to you. All of a sudden you can't see, you can't speak, and she had to learn how to walk again. Her vision gradually came back to her, and she had to learn how to speak all over again in a language that's not her native language, is German, okay, and then had to relearn that. So for the ignorant people that talk about drugs and this Missy Jen, you now know why her speech is the way it is, because not only is she dealing with the complications of MS, but it's a person that had to learn how to speak and have speech therapy and learn how to speak. She's come a long way. This is why the ignorant slobs that populate some of the other chats and spew their nonsense and without regard to fact. Why? Because it fits the company line of disliking Marshall. You know, so they'll use Missy Jen, they'll grab every, you know, as I said, to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail out there, and that just, it speaks volumes about their lack of character. Yeah, her speech is sweet. She sounds very, very sweet, you know, and she does, like I said, the first 3 years that she was in the Boyd community, before Boyd, she never made a video discussing any of her medical situations or what she went through with her.
Right.
And I think that's incredible on the Boyd, where people are whining about aches and pains and the things that they deal with and the things that they're going through. She kept that all to herself. Okay, before I went out to Kansas City the first time to meet her, she said, I have to disclose something to you. We were on a private one-on-one hangout.
Right.
She clicked the camera on, and there she is in a power wheelchair, and said, I want you to know that I have MS, you know, I'm dealing with this. And I was like, well, on with the show, let's go.
I wanted to ask you this, Rosie. What is you?
Because her medical care has been top flight out here.
When is you and Jen's anniversary?
I don't think we have a specific anniversary. The first time I met Jen was in October of 2013. The first time I went out there. She's been on the Rancho since April 1st, of 2014. She's passed 5 years on the Rancho. So, yeah, she's good on the Rancho. She's very happy, and the one thing that Missy Jen never wants to give up is her independence to be able to do the things that she wants to do. So I respect that. She also knows that I worked 46 years. She saw me for years get up as you did, 5 a.m. in the morning, do my thing on YouTube, and go off to work and she's work basically my butt off. She's basically 2 jobs.
Yeah,
2 jobs.
She's basically a homebody, and you're a person that likes to get out.
So she was also looking forward to the day when she could push me out the door and go travel, do what you want to do.
Right.
So it's a very good thing. It's
a mutual understanding that y'all set up, right?
Exactly.
That you're going to be on the road traveling, and she's going to stay at home.
But I'm in communication. As you know, I communicate with her daily.
Daily, oh yeah, definitely.
And I know exactly what's going on. I take care of all the bills, all the things that need to be done on the rent. Yeah, it's very wonderful. My main concern was getting Missy Jen the best quality of care that I think that she could get, and she was not getting that in
Missouri,
in western Missouri. She was not getting that.
Right.
Okay, so she came out, she loved it, and she's
so
happy.
she's improved her life overall.
Yeah,
right?
it's a loud city here. The quality of her life since being on the Rancho has improved exponentially.
By her medical care, by her living arrangements.
I tell everybody to go back and look at the video. I document my life every day. You can see the video when we arrived on the Rancho on April 1st, 2014. And you can see that she looks weak as a kitten, making her way across our journey into California from Missouri.
I wasn't
pulling the travels.
I wasn't sure when Missy Jen moves into the Rancho. I just remember when you popped up on and Rory's Hangouts around 2014. Jen was already there.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know the time frame of when she moved into the Rancho. Was April 2014?
I flew out in March, got picked up at the airport. She had arranged the U-Haul trailer. We hitched it to her back of her. You can see Missy Jen's trip to California, and we hooked that up, made our way across the Great Plains, the Rockies, the Wasatch, the Sierras, in a blinding snowstorm in the Sierras, and made a whiteout conditions and made our way in, here. So it's an epic journey. You can see the playlists on there on the channel. Now, on the Missy Jen's gait has improved a lot too, which is an amazing thing. Now on to the next subject. I do listen to Dave the Fisherman. He had his Captain Dave channel today. I don't always agree with the stuff that Dave does. A lot of stuff I don't agree with. He doesn't agree with a lot of the things that I do. Being with Marshall and all, and I get that. But we remain friends. We've met multiple times. I met him. He came out to the Rancho, and then I met him in Las Vegas. He was kind enough to invite me to come over to the streaming house, which I did, and use the facilities. And we stay in touch fairly regularly. I'm not much, as you know, to go on other people's hangouts and panels and things. But he was commenting about the Lisa Marie, and that I didn't state accurately the condition or downplay the condition of the Lisa Marie, because as he said, there's no way it would make it over that pass without exploding the other night. But he must not have heard the hangout where as we climbed from the desert floor at Tecate and started climbing up to an altitude of 4,400 feet, the temperature dropped from 95 degrees to 53 degrees at the top of that mountain. What in effect happened is, the higher the Lisa Marie climbed, even with that load of 9,000 pounds going up that 6% grade from 11,
because of the cool air.
Yeah, so the engine actually ran cooler than it did
on the desert floor.
In the desert floor,
right? Which
was unexpected on my part. Now I will also say to Dave that if you saw the videos where Rosa, you and me went down into San Luis, I specifically talked about it gave me a chance on that 28-mile ride to listen to the engine, to listen to the drivetrain, and for vibrations and things like that. And if you recall, after that night down there, I talked the next day about how I thought that the rig ran very well for being on the desert. So it should not come as a shock to anybody that it was able to make it. I thought the temperature would be much higher, even up to the highest elevations, but there was a strong wind blowing through there that was facing your grill.
Exactly.
And
it was coming from the west, and it was really nice. It was a nice ride. I think we made a good decision going in the nighttime, and it was a great ride. It was very, very nice. Rosie really intimidated me with the ride, and it was actually not intimidating at all. Going up from
the smart thing was running at nighttime. In daytime, it might have been a different story.
Right.
Hey, Dory Lynn, how you doing?
But my advice to anybody with a heavy motorhome or camper van: take these mountain passes in the nighttime. Try to take them at the coolest part of the day, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, even in a Class C or A.
What was the joker in the deck was the radical decline in temperature as we started to climb.
Yeah.
Till such point as you guys saw, I was still streaming. We got to the border control checkpoint. It was 53 degrees, and the guy was wearing a winter jacket.
Winter
up there
jackets,
yeah. Okay,
exactly.
That's the craziness of California. Charlie Lynn, how you doing, honey? We're gonna go in. I'm hoping I'll have signal for something on Verizon. Continues to disappoint once you cross the border. I'm hoping to go. We're hoping to go on Saturday. Today I want to get into the beach, and tomorrow's a dedicated full day.
The next 2 days, today and tomorrow, will be beach day for Rosie. Saturday, we're going to go into Tijuana. I'm very, very, very excited about it. And I hope that Rosie doesn't rush out of there. I hope we can take our time to really spend some time there and check it out, because I think it's... I'm not 37, right? And, the days get kind of long sometimes when you're, although I don't probably wear my age, it's still... Physically, it gets to be... Rosie is in very good shape for her age. You guys have seen her walk 6-7 miles in the desert with D-dubs. And she's got the stamina of a Brahma bull.
Yeah, we'll go. I'll take Marshall down to Coronado Island. He will love the Del Coronado hotel. If we're lucky, we may see an aircraft carrier leaving port, which is a fantastic sight to see this largest ships in the world passing in front of all these condominiums and things, and all the sailors on deck lined up. It's a pretty wild sight. So that's what I said. I told Marshall, yes, he can be without. He's free to do whatever he wants, and it won't take him long. He'll have his own agenda of things that he wants to do.
Rosie, I had a quick question for you. Out of all the people that watch you, right, and there's a lot of people that watch you and me, where would you say for you, what state in the United States would you say that has the highest viewers of Rosie O'Kelly?
Probably down in Texas.
Really?
Texas area.
You have a lot of people watching there?
A lot of people in Texas. Male and female down in Texas.
Right.
A lot of people across the Midwest. Ohio, up into the Michigan area.
What about east?
East, it would be South Carolina, North Carolina, because I'm basically a southerner, North and South Carolina.
Right. How many people do you have watching from Baltimore, from your hometown?
You know, Joe Smith. I have Zoe Small, who actually stream sniped me in Baltimore.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And there's a few people in the.
Do you have anybody area. Like in Minnesota, or Minneapolis?
Miriam, Gia.
You have Teresa Art the signs in Minnesota, but
yeah.
Who else in Minnesota? Anybody else?
I'm not. I can't just
probably
think
a lot of
off
people,
the
but
top of my head. So yeah, Florida. Yeah, a lot in Florida.
Yep.
On both sides, the Atlantic and the Tampa side.
Tampa side, yeah.
Geographically, I always told you it was very strange. My number one country for viewership is the U.S., then the U.K., then Canada, and then Australia, and then number 5 is Saudi Arabia.
Do you have any people
Go
watching?
figure that.
from
Go figure that. Saudi Arabia and
Saudi.
then India.
What about Louisiana? Is there anybody there that
Oh yeah, Louisiana. I got multiple people down in Louisiana. Deb, you know, I can't say Debbie Davis down there. I've got Jolene Bowers. I've got the 2 guys that took us around to the 2.
Oh, those guys.
2
Yeah,
sisters.
I remember that. Yeah.
Down. I've got the Nola Flowers down in that area too. Yeah, Michigan. I love Michigan. You're in the Philippines over there. So I wanted to make that clear about the van. I didn't misstate anything about the condition. I previewed that with the ride from Yuma to San Luis and back. I specifically sat in the back of the rig to be able to listen to it and to see how it ran. And when I came back that night, I did a video, uploaded that, and then the next morning I commented in the morning that I was impressed with the way the rig ran because of desert conditions. So
the only thing you probably heard as far as noise is the exhaust leak. The tailpipe and muffler have to be replaced. But as far as everything else on the rig, it's pretty solid and quiet as you heard.
So I want to be perfectly clear about that. Yeah. The climbing altitude is what really, it was cooling off his engine faster than it could heat up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now would I run that pass on the daily? No, I would not take that. I would try to make that a rare event to take a 9,000 pound camper van on a 6% grade for 11 miles of continuous climb. Yeah, I would try to avoid it. I've seen rigs on fire on the side, semis on the side of the road. We passed one that was down for the count on there. See, I have to take my allergy pills.
I think you're kind of coughing a little bit, kind of stuffed up. Right?
Yeah, I'm stuffed up because of it's a time of year where I don't know whether it's the yucca plants here or something. Just once I take an allergy pill, I'm all set. So.
Let's see who's in here. We got Carrie Bridges.
There's always a lot of thumbs down. Yeah, I don't mind the thumbs down. It's all engagement. My friends always thumbs up when they come in. They're not worried about what sock accounts do in terms of thumbing down. I turned on my thumbs up and thumbs down on January 3rd, 2013, and I've never turned them off since. It's all engagement. All engagement on
the
YouTube.
Thumbs down, thumbs up really don't mean nothing. They don't mean nothing to nothing.
They don't mean anything. And also, people have that option, as I've said 100 times. If you don't want to be subjected to it, then you can always, as my friend Nicole does, she chooses to walk away, which I respect, and not be a part of it here. To me, that's an intelligent way to do things, and it shows the level of maturity that she has now, that she doesn't let things affect her life in the way of what she might watch that would be upsetting, and she does her own thing. And I like that. Let's see. Good afternoon, Kathleen. Okay, listen, Rosa. Thank you, Dark Joker. I appreciate that. Oh, you gave me 2 thumbs up. That's good. Yeah. It's engagement. Hey, Judy, how you doing?
It's engagement. That's all it is.
There we go. I cleared that glob.
You got to take some.
I got my allergy pills. I just don't have any water right next to me here. I had some glob over there.
Andrea, how you doing?
Hey, Andrea, how you
What's
doing?
going on from
Michigan?
Michigan?
How you doing, sweetie? Nice to see you.
Where is Carrie from? Carrie Bridges.
I'm not sure where Carrie's from. I'm thinking that she's from the Midwest or something like that.
Do you ever ask your followers where they're from, Rosa?
No.
I notice you don't do that.
No. Let's see.
Rosie has a lot of women watching. I see a lot of women watching. I'm just curious where everybody's from, just your city. I always see these new names, and I don't know these. I've seen them, but just curious what city you guys are from. Yeah, it's nice in San Diego, Andrea. Really nice. Nice weather. I know it's nice that they're in Michigan now.
Yeah, it's really beautiful here.
South
It really
Carolina, stage something. Bailey's from Canada. Who's that lady? Who's this person here?
is. That's it,
Opiami. Where's she
let me
from?
see. I'm not sure. Hey, there's from Yorkshire, England, my good friend Beryl. Oh, you went to Coronado High School. Good for you. I mean, that's a
Katie's from
really
Tampa,
beautiful
UK,
Elk
London,
Grove,
Elk Grove.
Illinois.
Where's that at?
I think that's over near Sacramento, I believe, at that way.
Kentucky.
Nova Scotia. Hey, Kelly Huff, how are you doing, honey?
Dory Lynn's from where? Isn't she from Jacksonville?
She's down in the Jax area.
Tucson.
Now.
Who's from Tucson?
Yeah. Indiana, Beaches Life, Indiana, New York, Charlotte's in New York. Carol is
Council
in
Bluffs, Iowa. Mark
Tucson. Yeah,
Henry.
Mark Handler. I'm doing good, Andrew. I'm doing great. Hi, Jen. Kelly Huff is in Maryland. She's a fellow Maryland girl.
UK.
Yeah, I got
Chicago, Illinois. 90s
people.
Grand Rock.
Quite a few people in Maryland follow the
Yosemite.
channel.
Phoenix, Arizona. New Hampshire. Milwaukee. Lori Jean. I'm just curious where people are from because I see a lot of these people. I don't even. Just curious, just out of curiosity.
Let's see where they're from.
Where's Mouse Toast from?
The great state of Texas.
Texas. You got a lot of Texans.
I have
watching.
a lot of Texas people.
I lived
and
in
I'm
Houston
proud
for
of
about
that.
a year. I got family in Houston.
I'm very proud of the support I've got from Texas, from the watchers, and male and female down there, and they know the way I gush about San Antonio, the way I enjoy El Paso. I can't wait to get down to Padre Island and down to Galveston and Beaumont and all down in those areas. The two together is like having a president, vice president. Right. Hey, how you doing, Brandon? Yes.
Rubber Wilbur, how you doing there in Tavares, Florida? How you doing there, big guy? You having some quesadillas down there, Brandon? How you doing? You want to talk politics today?
I think Brandon is highly freaking entertainment when he is.
I know
when
Brandon
he's on
talks a
time.
little bit like this, a little Southern twang.
And he'll just put it out. He doesn't sugarcoat anything too, and he'll just.
Yeah, where is everybody?
He'll go into a chat room and he'll just randomly off topic shoot in
politics.
something that's not even related.
I'm just curious, where is everybody else from city? I'd like to know
Mr. Z
city.
is Vegas.
Mr. Z, Vegas. Brandon's from Tavares, Florida.
Vanessa's from London, England.
My eyes are a different color, really? I got white hair. See, I'm getting old. See that?
The king is maturing.
I'm maturing. I'm turning into that salt and pepper silver fox like George Clooney. Man, I'm better looking than George Clooney. My family is from Carlisle, Arkansas. Where's everybody from? Just Louisiana. Maxine Blue, Louisiana.
Yeah, Maxine's from down in Maxine Blue's from
Yeah,
down
I can still talk country.
I don't know, but is Maxine Blue in here? Because Maxine, you have some videos from
She's got videos?
from New York. Yeah, on like
What part of
Queens,
Louisiana is she
Queens
from?
or something like that. Don't you, Maxine?
What city is she in Louisiana? I'd like to know
I'm
city.
not sure, but she has videos on Queens or something.
What
like that.
city is everybody from? I'm just always curious where
See,
everybody's
Maxine,
from.
I watch. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Nate from Queens. Yeah. So.
Queens, New York?
Yeah, I watched Maxine's. I watch a lot of videos. Oh, thank you very much, Andrew. I just started using reading glasses. Oh man, no, don't worry about it. A lot of people need reading glasses.
London.
Let's see. Rosie, my Diane, how you doing? From Sherman Oaks, California. There we go.
Hey, how you doing, Diane? Nice to see you.
That's right, Carrie. I love Louisiana. The sideburns are grossly overgrown. I don't know.
Yeah, I need a trim.
Enough already. Thank you, Judy.
Where's Judy from?
Judy Moto, where are you from, Judy? She's been on my channel for a long time. I've known Mouse Toes since way back on TR Preppers.
Diane from LA, right?
I spent time with Diane last year in LA.
Middle of
and now I got
Wyoming.
Yosemite Spirit.
Who's that? Is that the lady you met in Cheyenne?
No.
No.
Actually, you pronounce it Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Yosemite. That's kind of our joke now on there. So, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you very much.
Where's Kathleen from?
Garrett's. My only disappointment is we met Mr. A on not last night, the night before, and he was.
Well, he's a nice guy, but I just think that maybe he just thought it twice about being on camera.
Yeah.
Maybe he just,
He might have been. I was worried that maybe it was a troll thing, but nothing really happened in town.
No.
Here. So it's just a nice guy that probably had second thoughts, given the attention on the channels and things. He probably maybe thought better of.
you might think that he might get doxxed or something like that.
Something like that, and
Yosemite National Park.
Yeah, Yosemite Park. How's that generator box holding up? You don't need it here.
Oh, the generator! I don't need it here. The generator box is nice.
You could have left that in Yuma, man. You don't need that.
Yeah, it is losing a little bit of the finish. It might have to be, repainted, but
it's
doing
made
pretty
to wear.
good.
It's got
nice.
marine varnish underneath it. I mean, it's built like a.
I love that box.
Yeah.
I love when Rosie made that box. When we, put it together, it was just I had a vision in my head that, wow, making
Not
a box
quite
like
what
this.
you expected in the way.
No, not quite the design aspect of it, and I realized Rosie is very creative. She's very creative, and she's very handy. We all know she's handy, but I didn't know she's just creative. She really is creative. She really does have a mind for putting things together, and that made me excited about doing this van build, because I know that me and Rosie put our minds together and put some elbow grease on, man, Lisa Marie would be nice. So.
It's designed that box so that you can take some masking tape lightly over to not masking, the painter's tape, and just take a can of white spray paint and just within 5 minutes have recovered the box and it looked good as new. Peel off the covering on the stripes and you're good.
We'll probably do that on the Rancho. Give it another couple of coats, and you probably got to do that every
I think once a year you do something like that. It's fine because you're lifting. It's. Let's face it. There's a lot of environmental wear on the road and things. And
I just love things made out of real wood instead of this press board they put in camper vans, which is garbage. And that was real oak wood that we used. And how thick was that? It was.
We used 3/4.
3/4 inch, and it's built really nice. And but yep. So
you want to sing today? Anything for?
Yeah, I'll sing something, but I just want to ask you guys one question before I do that. Whoever's excited about the van build of the Lisa Marie, press 777. I just want to know. There's a lot of people out there watching, and this is one of the most exciting things is the van build for me. If you're excited about the van build, press 777. I'll do an Elvis song, but I don't know what song you want me to do. But press 777 if you guys are excited about the van build. I am. I know I am. Maybe there's a lot of people that are. Maybe there's a lot of women that are out there. They want to see how
Forever friend, nice to see you, honey.
But the song that was in my mind was, this words to Imagine by John Lennon?
Yeah.
What are the words? Can you tell me?
Imagine all the people living.
Okay, I'll tell me the words. Well,
I don't.
Imagine. What the words?
I don't know.
Can anybody put
your
the
phone
words?
with you?
I don't have my phone.
Okay.
Does anybody know the words? That's what I wanted to sing. Imagine all the people living life in peace. It's your turn.
I'm not singing.
You know that I'm a dream. Come on, Rosie.
No,
Come on, be a socialist for today.
No. Not
Rosie is too Republican.
I'm not a singer.
She's too red. No, she's sang before.
Too conservative. That's right. On that, so.
Living for today.
I like Kentucky Rain, and it's my favorite Elvis song of all time. Is Kentucky Rain.
Kentucky Rain. Yep. I love Imagine by John Lennon. I feel like playing that song in Lisa Marie by the beach. Putting up my peace sign and getting a hippie shirt. Just living like life in the 70s, I want to where I want to go?
Good morning, Cindy Lopez. How you doing, sweetie?
I want to find a vintage store that sells bell bottoms. Where can I find that? I want to
You'll
dress.
find them over on.
Where?
Oh, you'll find them in San Diego.
I've always wanted to get the 70s high collar shirts and the bell bottom pants, and you know, the tie-dye, and I just want to be a hippie.
Let's see.
Without
Yeah,
the weed.
Imagine is a good song. Lack of excitement was underwhelming here. There you go, Mouse Toes. It's like didn't seem to be that groundswell of
Well, look,
support for the idea of the band. But it's like I
look,
say,
a lot of these people that are watching are women, and they love to watch because of the travel aspect. But yes, there are a lot of people that love the van life out there. They're out there, and a lot of you women out there are probably not into van life. You like the travel aspect, but there's a lot of people out there that are into the van life. Probably not here, probably not Rosie's core, because they enjoy the travel more than the van life. Is what it is.
yeah, they enjoy it. There's a variety here. There's everything from baking to metal detecting to it's an ultimate variety channel for stuff that gets done.
Right.
Here. Yeah, how about your medicals? Why don't you want to update your medical situation?
Oh, my medical. Well, I took some Prilosec last night. I had me a rice and potato burrito. It didn't bother me. No salsa. That's the bland diet. Woke up and I was in a little bit of pain, but I took 4 pieces of those Tums, and I had a couple of donuts and a coffee, and I was in a little bit of pain, and then it kind of went away.
Compared to yesterday.
I think my pain level is down. It's subsiding. I'm feeling better. I think I still do have to watch what I eat. As far as my digestive, I think it improved since last night. My digestive issues. Obviously, it's acidic issues. So I know that the bland diet, or they call it the brat diet, works. I want to continue to stay on that. So please just continue to please just pray for me, and
I think one in the morning,
positive,
according to the doctor, just don't go get those heavily caffeinated Starbucks cold brew, and he'll chug 2 of those babies down. So
yeah, caffeine, anything that's spicy, acidic, lemony, greasy meats, So I'm gonna stick to more of a vegetarian, carbohydrate, meatless diet.
Yeah, well, the reason, I got some mail overnight from, you were irresponsible yesterday. You should have immediately taken Marshall, should have called emergency services and had Marshall transported to a emergency room. The difference is, as soon as Marshall disclosed that the pain was on his right side over here, if he had said it's from the center of my chest and emanating down my left arm over here, that would have been a totally different story. But right side pains, from my limited knowledge, are usually either muscular or digestive in nature, including gallbladder and all that. So I'm not one to just waste resources when it seemed that he was in every time he would eat, he would have the pain would come up, and then when he didn't, it would subside, and then when laying down is another classic indicator of
yes, I have this
reflux,
acidic
acid reflux.
Right, exactly.
Kind of so you have to be more worried about pain that's in the center of the chest and moves down your left arm.
So Rosie, would you say that when you had the GMC motorhome and the van, that you had more people watching that liked that stuff, or not?
No, really? I think it was mostly people that just looked at it as a lark, a cool thing that just developed on the channel, because they were used to me doing moonshining and renovation projects, and a motorhome. It's just another chapter in a book.
Would you say that there's more nomads that watch me than you?
Oh yeah,
for sure, right?
But I think my numbers are climbing very rapidly.
I'm saying just nomads.
I'm
saying particular nomads.
But I've had a lot of people cross in recently from the RV
community,
nomad,
right?
And I expect that will continue to climb as travel becomes more and more of a feature.
More and more, yeah.
On it. Yeah, Carrie, I suspect either an ulcer or acid reflux, but this I can almost guarantee you. And he talked to his doctor last night that a course of Prilosec, and he'll probably be right back in good shape in that regard.
Right.
Do I think Marshall needs an overall physical? Yes. Do I think he needs some ophthalmological attention? Yeah, I think he needs to get checked out, and Mexicali may be the place to get that type of evaluation.
Yeah, that would be cool if I could go to an ophthalmologist there. And,
I guarantee you, the time I'm with Marshall eating, I'll be very shocked if he doesn't lose 10 to 20 pounds over the 3 weeks or months that we're traveling and stuff, because he knows I don't eat a lot when I go out, and the opportunities aren't too often for eating here.
Right.
Have we ever thrown down a giant? Have you ever had a buffet or a giant meal?
Well,
the answer is no.
No, not really.
So,
Rosie can throw down if she wants to, but she moderates her eating. She'll have a coffee and donut in the morning, and then she won't snack. There's no snacks. There's no lunch. She'll have a dinner, but it'll be a medium-sized dinner. It won't be too big or too small,
And I might have some pistachio nuts like last night, late night. Try to have something a little healthier with maybe some good oils. So I can almost guarantee you that he will be 10 to 20 pounds lighter, because it's not like he's sneaking off eating or anything like that.
And walking, if I get my walking shoes back on and we start doing some chooches, that'll really get more
and
active,
more exercise helps you burn off weight. And then I think as you feel healthier, your weight starts to reduce, then you feel more healthy. It becomes a self-reinforcing, a virtuous cycle there that goes on. We're getting the word out. You're crossing over to... Oh, thank you very much, Cindy Lopez. I'm very honored to see you in here.
Cindy
today.
Lopez?
Yeah.
Oh, she's good buddies with Miss Aloha, right?
Yeah, well, I take everybody on the, I have nothing against Colleen.
Hey, Miss Aloha's got over 1,000 subscribers, Rosie. Now she can go live.
I just don't like some of the falsehoods that are perpetrated without any check or balance on her channel. But it's not my channel, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm an advocate. If you do what you want on your channel, and I'll do what my mom.
But if you're gonna say something, you should state facts, not what.
Well, I'm just saying. But
right.
Her chat is populated with trolls and to some extent, and they have a different agenda than factual information. So, and that's fine. I mean, it's like everybody's got to be someplace, and I'm not complaining about it. Like I say, Cindy Lopez has always been kind to me. Colleen and I get along pretty good. I comment on her videos. I comment on a lot of people's videos. I take the time to watch and to comment and stuff. So, but you see these people that have been just trans haters for years, like Ridge Runner in there.
Right.
And this guy has no ability to have an independent and a positive thought. Okay, but yet he gets accorded some place. But that's okay, that's all right, because it doesn't affect what goes down on my channel. But I just think, you get what you get. So it's fine.
One thing I want to say,
and for the record, I enjoy Colleen, and I hope she brings a lot more videos from.
Yeah, one thing I want to say
Hawaii.
Well, now that she's got 1,000 subscribers, she can go live.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a
live content.
Yeah,
exactly. Getting out of the house.
I can like Colleen without liking some of the things that go on her chat, just like she can like me without some of the things that I do in my life.
Well, I think that me and Rosie are both looking forward to seeing not her drama troll-filled hangouts, but actually getting out of her house.
Well, she is.
And we don't want to listen to the frogs. Let's see some content of Hawaii. Let's see the beaches. Let's see the food. Let's see the nightlife. Let's get out already and make some content. You got 1,000 subscribers out there. Get out of the house, make some content.
That's her plan, and I'm looking. And I, for one, I'm really looking forward to seeing the content that she brings.
One thing I want to say though that Mr. X mentioned, he said that, obviously we know that a lot of people that watch you, for the majority of part, they'll watch you make the box for the generator with Lisa Marie, but they're not particularly interested in it. But because they support you, they'll watch you. Yeah. Or say a lot of people watch you. Like, for example, I'm not necessarily interested in the radio stuff.
Right.
But I'll watch it or put a comment. So my point is that Mr. X is saying a lot of people watch you do a lot of things, even though they're not into that thing. They'll still watch you and encourage you as being a supporter.
Yeah, I think I got a very good I think I have an excellent subscriber base. It's been incredibly loyal over many.
I will just
years.
say that my goal, Rosie, is that if we ever went to Quartzsite, if we ever went to a place like Quartzsite or went to where there's a lot of nomads, would for her to be, we already know that there's a lot of women that watch her. There's a lot of people in the drama community that watch her, that's established. Most of these women are from the drama community, probably other communities, beauty, whatever. But I've always wanted to have Rosie kind of submersed into the RV community and draw more people, more nomads. Because I think that's what you're kind of lacking a little bit, right?
I only began this really in earnest when it came to hitting the road in June.
When you retired.
It really began.
Exactly, yeah.
That's when I really put it in gear for the Midwest, and you're like, oh, you're not gonna, I'm not gonna be deprioritized up here in Toronto. He didn't even watch enough to know that I was already in gear and in Canada and coming to
Rosie.
Next day he's like, whoa, you're in Canada. I was like, yeah.
Rosie always has an itinerary. Rosie always has priorities. Rosie always has a schedule. See, I live my life day to day. Rosie plans out ahead. She plans out the whole year. She knows what she's gonna do the whole next year, and every month, every week is allocated to something. Rosie is like a super future planner. That's what she does.
You know what a nightmare is to me? It's sitting around a town with not a darn thing to do,
right?
But just stare at the street with the cars going by. Okay,
right.
I come into a place like El Cajon, within 6 hours, I've kind of got the feel for the
right.
It's kind of an outskirts town of Chicago. It's a cool place,
right.
But the difference is you would hang there for a week or two and gradually absorb the Chaldean Christian community. You get to know some people there.
Right.
Before you know it, you might be eating with some of these people and hanging out, and then they're going to tell you other things to do in the area.
Exactly.
In other words, the longer, you take your time.
Rosie really, she hits a place very fast. She'll just see a place for 2 hours and boom. And you really, if you travel like that, you really are not going to get to know the place very well.
Hey, awesome hooker, how you doing, sweetheart?
You have to spend some time, but Rosie doesn't like to do that. She likes to move around a lot and move around fast and see, just to get a glimpse of it.
Yeah, this will be unusual to spend 12 days right down in the beach here. Not every day will be there, but there'll be night shooting along the boardwalks. There'll be we'll be driving, like I say, Tijuana on Saturday. Should be interesting.
That's what I'm waiting for. I am.
It's actually probably the best time to go in because it'll be the most crowded on a Saturday.
Get the full effect of it, yeah.
And then it might be HELL coming back over the border late at night. We could be in an hour's wait getting back over, but you never know. But my priorities, I want to be safe. But for me, like in El Cajon, it's a typical California town. It's flat. There's no really interesting architectural features.
Right.
There's no real captivating history of El Cajon. It's just a suburb, suburb of San Diego. Okay?
What's interesting to me is the food scene.
The food scene. Ali Bobby didn't seem to do too much.
That was only one. So there was many other places, but also there's a lot of RV parks there. So a lot of mobile home parks, RV parks.
Yeah, he is pretty happy around, and I think over time, as I say, over the last few years, there's been a maturing of
Rosie.
Compared to 2 years ago, he's not half as wild and insanely crazy as 2 years ago. You can tell when you get to, especially when you get to 40, changes everything. When you get to 40, you got to really, think about how you want to go forward at that point. And
Rosie's really into architecture. Architecture is a big thing for her. Obviously, then you got the beat stuff, and then, obviously, you all know that she loves hood chooching. She's getting into the haunted stuff, but very lightly. And as far as nightlife, she does that in Vegas. But how many times are we going to see Vegas? How many
times we're going to see Devon Avenue? Okay. Choo-choo on the Vaughn Avenue in Chicago, Illinois.
Well, I mean, you know, but
it's all right, Mark.
But
I'm
Rosie,
just saying,
the bottom line is, like Mr. X says, whatever Rosie does,
the
her
nice thing about
followers will
Vegas
follow her,
at daytime, you can just hang out at that cheap hotel with a pool. And at nighttime, you can be out looking at black widow spiders and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, it's cool,
Right.
you know. Or looking at one of the biggest homeless encampments you'll ever see in your life.
No matter what, like Mr. X says, people will follow and watch Rosie. Whatever she does, you guys follow her, and you might not necessarily like what she does, but you support her because you're a follower. So
hello, Cheryl. I hope you're doing good.
And that's
baby
the
doll.
bottom line. So
I think it'll always be, you know, interesting. Do I hope more people join a travel group? Yes, I do. I think the more people become, the more interesting, and the safety of it goes up, the security of having in case of breakdowns. And there are people that have expressed an interest in being along and hanging out.
And what separates Rosie from a lot of nomads is she's an urban explorer. Rosie is a real urban explorer.
Hey, Lindsay.
She's not really into the nature and stuff, and I'm not into it either. I'm an urban explorer, and that's what we have in common is the urban exploration. And
that's actually the thing that drew me to his, because he was the first person I ever saw on YouTube that did not care about like BLM land,
all that stuff,
camping and
right.
countryside camping,
right.
but actually wanted to be in core city environments to enjoy like the food scene, the nightlife and all that. And I thought, wow, this is really unusual in the nomad community to find somebody that and that's exactly where my interests were, being in urban, being in city areas.
And I remember
because the experiences are packed tighter, you know, you can get
exactly. I remember Rosie always told me that she loved when I went in 2016 when I went to Deerfield Beach and when I went to Miami and Miami Beach, and I also went to Key West. She really enjoyed those videos, and that's what really kind of inspired her to get into this traveling in the van type of life. And there's some interesting characters here in California, I gotta tell you. So, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just saying that was really exciting to me to find somebody that actually was able to boondock within cities, you know, and the thing that really put me over the top was when he went to Key West and spent 7 days down there and didn't get the royal boot out of till like the last day. And I never thought anybody could overnight with a camper van in Key West. Right. And that was very interesting to me. So yeah, I really like urban areas. Like I try to visualize myself on BLM land.
Be boring.
I'm out there. Yeah. I get my camp chair, I open it up, and I face a mountain up there.
Right.
Now, what do I do for the next?
What do you do for the next?
What do I do?
Right.
You know, I mean, gather rocks in the desert, or take up painting.
I think it'd be interesting to go when they have the big tent event, when they have all the vendors over there and all the nomads, and you can meet other nomads and collaborate a little bit, see all the stuff.
Hey, like, Jordan Blue.
The Big Ten and courtside. That would be interesting to see that. I would love to go there. I mean, I'm not saying go there for 2 weeks. You could go there for 3-4 days. You could go there for a week, you know.
Yeah, thank you, Judy. Yeah, I like to be out amongst the real people. But the thing is, in cities, all your food is compressed into an easy travel area. You're not burning a ton of gas going from this place to that place.
Exactly.
You can go deep into the city and do a lot of exploration within the city.
Or you can go to the suburbs. And
like now, I got a good handle on Detroit. I know the layout of Detroit. I have a decent handle on Chicago.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. And it's nice to have that. Nice to have that knowledge.
And I think we're the only nomads that are really doing urban exploration. A lot of the nomads don't do urban exploration. They love to stay out and be alone.
That's what originally attracted me to your channel, was that you didn't care to go out like Mike Living Free and be on BLM land in South Dakota.
I do have an interest to go to Vancouver with the urban explorers there. That's similar to what we're doing.
Hey, Debbie Lynn.
I do have an interest to go, like I said, to Quartzsite, to the Big Ten event where they have all the vendors, and I'm not staying to stay there for a month, maybe for 2-3 days, maybe for a week, meet some people, make some video, and then leave. I wouldn't want to stay there more than a few days to a week. So But we're both city people, urban explorers.
Vicky, I'm not. I mean, I was always city, and the countryside was spooky to me to be out where it's pitch black at night. And, you know, it's just weird.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Thank you, Bailey. Yeah, I'm gonna put my butt on the beach for basically the next. I finally have Missy Jen's target date for her infusion, which is going to jive nicely with them going on to Vegas to meet Lions Crew. It's going to be good to spend some time back on the Rancho with Missy Jen, get caught up, start to get ready with the Halloween gear to put that up, start getting my thoughts together about the effective way to do.
Do y'all give out candies for kids for Halloween?
Yep.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To figure out how to effectively do a van restoration and all that kind of. Yeah, I want to be out on the beach there, Vicky. But today will be mostly a feeling out day for as we get closer to the actual beach areas down there. We need to get an initial feel for what's feasible for boondocking and what's going to be a nightmare.
That'll be interesting today to get a survey of San Diego and the outlying areas, the outskirts, or the surrounding cities or surrounding area of the core, and to see what it's like. A lot of people have told me that it's impossible to boondock in San Diego or around it. I've been warned by a lot of nomads in Prescott that it's probably one of the most difficult places to boondock in the country.
And that in San Francisco.
Yep. So it'll be interesting.
I would say, Harvey, how you doing? Country girl at heart. Let's see. I want to see. Yeah, we'll be on the beach. Hey, how you doing, Celeste? JJ Superstar. Grumpy is our homie. So yeah. I hope you're doing good, Harvey. Let's see for Jan. Thank you, Nate. Thank you very much, and thank you for the support that I've gotten on the PayPal. If you're enjoying the content, taxes are never collected here. Tips are always appreciated. And I thank you. The number of people doing that has been graciously increasing, and I'm very happy about getting that support.
I just have one request.
Not required, but certainly appreciated.
I just have one request from the people that were watching Rosa here. We got about 200 people watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, Elvis Travels, yet, please hit the subscription button and subscribe to me.
Hey, JK.
I've got 7,200 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 8,000, trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. I'm trying to get to 8,000 for the time being. So please take your chance to check out my channel. There's a lot of great videos on there, old videos, new videos of the RV lifestyle, tours of motorhomes and camper vans, and my travels in life for the past 4 or 5 years. So please subscribe to Elvis Travels and hit the bell notifications so you see all the videos that come up, and have a chance to take a look at my channel, you know, and I think you guys will enjoy it. There's a lot of content on there, old and new. So
all right, everybody, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the chat. We are ever nudging our way closer to the Pacific Ocean here, so looking forward to that. I don't think Marshall has ever dipped his toe into the great Pacific Ocean, but it's about time. Yep. It's about time that he did, to say the king has touched both oceans of this great nation. You know,
right.
He'll find some way to to do it with his
own,
the
king
with his own style, or
the
something
king
like
the
that.
King of the East arrives in the West from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, accompanied by Rosie O'Kelly and Little Rascal. We will be styling and profiling in the Pacific Ocean and the city of San Diego that Rosie loves so dearly.
Very
and we'll
much.
be showing you guys a lot of sights, sounds, smells, and taste of San Diego.
Anyway, thank you guys. With that, have a wonderful day. We'll see you beachside. We got some investigating work to do today. My whole day tomorrow on the beach, Saturday in TJ. I know I want to meet Diane. She's agreed. She's amenable to meeting.
We're going to try to see Tara too.
Tara will be down there. There's a couple other people too that I would like to be able to meet up. Never necessary to be on camera. Your identity would always be protected if you so choose to do so. So on that note, have a wonderful day, everybody. Woo!
Woo!